Hi everyone, in this video we are going to catch a business class flight from Frankfurt to Chicago, but before that we have to fly from Charles de Gaulle to Frankfurt. Also, if you're like me who depend on pocket Wi-Fi for Google Maps or Google Directions, please don't forget to return your pocket Wi-Fi before going through security, because trust me, this happened to me before when I forgot to drop it off, and it was not fun to go back out of security just to drop your pocket Wi-Fi. Here's the fast track. If you have Star Alliance Gold, or if you're flying business class or first class, we do have Gold Track or Fast Track in Charles de Gaulle and all over the world, but in Charles de Gaulle, it's not called Fast Track, it's called Access number 1. Whenever I use Gold Track, there's usually no line, and it's perfect because I'm traveling with my mom, and I don't think she likes to wait 20 minutes just to go through security. If you love French Macarons, the airport is the best place to buy it because it's tax-free. And then when we flew out of Paris, this is the only lounge available close to the gate that we're gonna fly out of. This is Sheltair Lounge. It's permanently closed right now, as it should be, because it's not really the best lounge I have ever been to. As you can see, if you look around, it looks like an old office, and the food's okay. We have like warm sausage, you have pastries, you have coffee, you have an open bar, but something is missing. Maybe they were understaffed around that time, because around the time that we would have visited Paris, like a large fraction of airport employees were on strike. Look at the turkey. It looks like it's been in a box for a few months. But you really can't complain. Everything inside the lounge is free. But if you see the washroom, you're gonna complain again. I'm not gonna post the pictures of the washroom because it looked horrible that time. So right now we're going to be catching a quick flight from Paris to Frankfurt in an Airbus A340. And business class seats in Airbus A340 with Lufthansa is just regular seats with the seats in the middle blocked. So there's only two configuration, and what they did is they gave my mom and I the exit row, which is kind of the same. The only difference is that if you're sitting in an exit row, you should be able to speak English and follow commands, and you should be strong enough to be able to open the exit window. Trust me on this, I used to be a flight attendant, and also the main reason why we need to have the window shades open during takeoff and landing is because we need to be able to see the engines and the aircraft's wings, make sure they're not on fire, or make sure we're not being followed by some weird aircraft or some kind of Russian fighter aircraft, because in the cockpit there could be some kind of issues that we don't know about. Like, instead of flying towards Frankfurt, we probably end up in Moscow, and if we're flying in Moscow without permission, they could shoot us down. And I know it sounds like a movie, but on September 1, 1983, Korean airline Flight 007, a B747 flying from New York to Seoul via Alaska, was shot down by a Russian fighter aircraft when the pilot made a navigational mistake and drifted towards Soviet airspace. This is probably one of the smoothest landing ever. By the way, Frankfurt Airport is the main hub of Lufthansa, so if you're ever flying first class, they usually have the best amenities for first class flyers for Lufthansa Airlines in Frankfurt Airport. Now, if you're ever in Frankfurt Airport, the one of the main things that you should do is to buy Steiff. Steiff is a toy company, and they actually made the first teddy bear, and all of their toys are all handmade, and they're probably the softest toys you would ever see. They have affordable bears that you can buy for $40 to $60 to $80, but Usually the collectible Steiff teddy bears would go from $500 to $10,000, and there's a really old Steiff teddy bear that went up to $40,000. Now we are going to try Lufthansa's Senator Lounge. Lufthansa Airlines have three kinds of lounge. They have the first class lounge for Lufthansa's first class flyers. They have the Senator Lounge for the other first class flyers and Star Alliance Gold members, and they have the business lounge for business class flyers. This is Lufthansa's B747 that we flew from Chicago to Paris. If you want to see the trip report, feel free to check it out. Thank you so much. We flew on the upper deck of the Boeing 747. And as you can see, this lounge is so much better than the now permanently closed Sheltair Lounge, and hopefully I don't have to use that lounge ever again. In this lounge, the food and beverage is so much better. You have, as you can see right here, you have a selection of sparkling wine. I don't know why this acrylic container is so dirty. Don't blame me, I just got here. Right here you have a couple of beers on tap, and of course a large selection of liquor. It's an open bar, you can do whatever you want. You have soft drinks. I think this is so much better than United Polaris Lounge, where you have to wait for the bartender to get something, but right here you can just grab whatever you want. You also have snacks. You have a couple of pudding to choose from. They have waffles with fresh jam. You also have a couple to choose from. If you like soup, you have this one is a spicy paprika cream soup, and this one's a beef broth with semolina dumplings. You also have bread, pastries, you have meatballs. These are probably the best meatballs I've ever had. It's so much better than the IKEA meatballs. I just hope it's not made of horse. It did taste a little bit like beef, but maybe it's something else. I don't know. Hopefully it's not made of horse meat. The beef broth with semolina dumplings is pretty good as well. It has a clean taste and very comforting. Maybe your grandma would like this one. Because we're in Germany, there's a large selection of pretzels. This one's baked with a slice of cheese on top, and I dipped it in the meatball sauce. It's so good. I actually ate my whole weight. I ate my weight in meatballs in this lounge. Maybe I ate too much. That's why they did not give me my mileage, because I'm still waiting for them to give my mileage on this leg of my trip from Frankfurt to Chicago. If you know anybody in Lufthansa, or if you work with Lufthansa, do you know how to redeem your lost mileage? Because it's not like I did not pay for this flight. I actually paid for this flight. This is not a sponsored flight, and I don't know why. And also I don't know why my mom is peeling an apple in the lounge. She told me she had a headache, and I told her to take a shower. They have really good shower facilities in Lufthansa's Business Class Lounge or Senator Lounge. This is the washroom. As you can see, they have Luxite, and it's so fancy. And these are the shower rooms, and I did not go inside because I don't feel like showering anyway. But this is the shower area if you're ever here. Thank you. And the mileage thing, they're not showing. And I don't know what to do. My mileage from Frankfurt to Chicago is not showing. So if I were you, don't eat all the meatballs, or else they're not going to give you your mileage. In this business class flight, we are flying an Airbus A340 from Frankfurt to O'Hare, and we are going to be sitting in 2K and 2H right here. I still prefer the upper deck of Boeing 747 because you have an extra storage on your side. Service was fast. My mom ordered champagne. I had water. And maybe because it's the old flight attendant in me, I always look at the safety sheet. I need to know where the exits are. I need to know where my life vests are. And you should too. I was hoping I have some air vents so I can just, because I want all that filtered air. I don't want COVID or tuberculosis. This is the Lufthansa's business class menu. It might be a little different right now because it's usually different every few months. The only same thing would be usually the beverage. And speaking of beverage, I don't know if I should tell you this, but usually we have short turnaround times, and I'm not pretty sure how often they clean the water tanks in the airplanes, so it might not be a good idea for you to have coffee or tea in the aircraft unless you see them using bottled water for your coffee. It should be fine. The teapots or the coffee pots that we have in flight, I usually just consider them as some kind of a self-defense pot. It's for unruly passengers, or if you have a weird passenger trying to open the cockpit door, it's for their head, usually, because September 11 should never happen again. You know what I mean? And one more time, another safety announcement. It's the reason why we need you to open the window is so that you can watch outside for safety events, like if your engine is on fire or if the wing's on fire. We need you to scream like you belong in the cuckoo's nest. We are usually not allowed to call the cockpit during takeoff and landing, but if the engine's on fire, I'm going to call the captain. Aside from the safety side of watching the engines during a takeoff and landing, I also actually love watching the engines during takeoff and landing. Do you like watching the engines too? If you don't like watching the engines, feel free to fast forward. I'm a big fan of their in-flight kit. I love these eco bag. You can use it for grocery shopping. You can use it as a second carry-on bag. And you have L'Occitane and everything in it. It's actually pretty useful instead of just, keeping it in your old luggage or in your cabinet. And for in-flight service, my mom ordered water. I ordered port and water. I love how easy it is to use the control. You can swipe left to right, up and down to move your cursor. You have also a pretty good selection of shows and movies. For the appetizer, my mom ordered the duet of sweet potato with sweet corn salsa and feta cheese. And I ordered tuna tataki style with dashi vegetable salad and miso mayonnaise. I love the tuna tataki. The miso mayonnaise tastes a little bit like miso, but not too much, not too salty. I thought it was going to be salty, but it's not salty. And my mom said the duet of sweet potato tastes like sweet potato. I love that in every business class I've been to, they usually toast the bread. It's so good. And for the main, we ordered the same thing. My mom ordered sauteed prawns with sesame vegetable, jasmine rice, and red Thai curry sauce. And as expected, they made the curry not too spicy. If this is served in Thailand, in Bangkok, I would be sweating bullets already. And for dessert, my mom ordered a strawberry cake, and I ordered the cheese plate. My mom said the strawberry cake tastes like strawberry. Thank goodness I already have port in my table. The port is gonna go well with a stinky cheese. So as you can see, this aircraft is kind of an old aircraft. It's an old model. It doesn't have the sensor for the tap water. Be careful of the surfaces, but as long as you wash your hands after touching everything, you'll be fine. And as always, one of my favorite things with Lufthansa are the chocolate truffles that they serve. It's usually pretty good. And once you're ready to lie down and get some rest, you can pull your arm seat down like this, and this is your control for the lie flat seat. Get some sleep, and you can also control the cushion firmness by pushing these buttons right here. After a few hours of sleep, you're gonna have another meal. My mom and I ordered eggplant parmigiana, and it was served with toasted bread and creamy yogurt with mango and matcha tea crumbles. It was so good. A little tip for you: if you ever wake up with a headache, order some Coke, and the caffeine in the Coke should help with your migraine. I was pretty surprised with the eggplant parmigiana because I was not expecting it to be this good, but it's actually very good. It's meaty, it was saucy, it was cheesy, but it's vegetable. The bread is also good. It was slightly crunchy, and with butter, it's just perfect. I was not very excited about this dessert before, but it turns out this is probably one of my favorites. You get that creamy mouthfeel from the yogurt and the sweet and slightly tanginess from the mango, and then you have the slight bitterness of the matcha crumbles, and it works like magic. In an hour descent, we got treated with a view of the sunset over Chicago.